Assalamu alaikum everyone, hope you're doing really well. Today's video is about the rights of Muslim women and the 4 things I think every single Muslim woman should know prior to marriage. So without further ado, number 1, a Muslim woman can keep her surname after she gets married. So the reason being is that she is able to keep her identity, and the fact that her father raised her, which makes sense that she does keep her father's surname, and also that she's known through her father, if that makes sense. And I think the added bonus with that is that there's no extra paperwork after you get married, so it's one less thing for you to do and worry about. Number 2 is the mahr, so also known as the dowry. So there is no set value for this, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a material thing, but the groom does have to give the bride a gift, and it is a must, and it is her right. So for example, in Asia, it could be they usually give like maybe a piece of land to the bride, but in the UK it's common to give a financial sum and maybe some gold to the bride. And it's also really important to understand that it is hers to keep. She doesn't have to share it with anyone. So even her guardians, for example, her dad or brother, do not have access to it, and her husband cannot pressurize her to share the gift with him. But if she wants to out of her own free will, then she can. But essentially it is hers to keep, and she can do whatever she wants with it. Number 3 is the right to have her own space after marriage. So she has the right to have her own bathroom, living room, kitchen, and bedroom, obviously. But as you know, it's not always easy just to go out and buy a house these days, and some people have circumstances where they're just not able to do that. It might be a financial thing, it might be because they care for their parents and aren't able to move out straight after marriage, etc, etc. So in this instance, she still has the right to her own space. So it's worth sort of considering if they're able to extend their current house or add an annex to that current house for the husband and wife to have as their own space. But obviously, as we know, some cultural practices, especially in the South Asian community, they encourage the bride to live with the extended family and the in-laws, but it is actually her right Islamically to have her own space. And number 4 is the right to initiate a divorce. So Islamically, the husband and the wife can initiate a divorce, and this was put in place centuries ago when Islam came around. But funnily enough, in this country, divorce could only be initiated, I think it was back in the 18th century, and it was only rich men that were able to initiate a divorce. And it was only, I believe, in 1923 the man and the woman were able to initiate a divorce in the UK, which I find a bit shocking, to be honest. It's obviously not something that anyone wants to go through, but as you know, it's happening more and more in the Muslim community. So it's definitely worth obtaining knowledge around this area prior to getting married. And if you don't understand things, it's worth calling up your local mosque, and perhaps they can explain to you in a manner that you do understand. So ladies, make sure you do your research prior to getting married, so you know your rights. And there's loads of resources out there. There's YouTube, as you know, there's articles around this and the Sharia law, so it's worth having a read. And I'm sure there's loads of books, that you can buy around this as well to make you have a better understanding. Anyway, I hope this video helps. Take care and have a good evening.